Russia is planning a massive, multi-billion-dollar aviation gamble to completely overhaul its domestic passenger fleet under heavy Western sanctions. Welcome back to Altitude Addicts. In this video, we are diving deep into Moscow's aggressive new plan to rip French power plants out of its regional jets and replace them with homegrown technology, looking at the hidden costs, fleet breakdowns, and production bottlenecks that could make or break this entire operation. Make sure you watch all the way until the end, because we will reveal how these compounding part shortages might actually force an entire airline fleet out of the skies permanently before the first new engine even rolls off the line. Russia's United Aircraft Corporation is currently in the process of implementing a major re-engineering initiative that could result in the installation of 50 Sukhoi SSJ-100 regional jets with domestically produced PD-8 engines. This ambitious shift would completely replace the joint Russian-French SaM146 power plants that are currently installed on the aircraft. The initiative, if fully executed, will cover approximately one-third of Russia's remaining SSJ-100 fleet and would stand out as one of the most extensive modernization programs for the aircraft since Western sanctions severely disrupted international engine support. United Aircraft Corporation recently presented this massive proposal to airline operators during crucial meetings held during May and June, according to industry sources. It was reported that the technical condition, the remaining service life of non-replaceable components, and the projected operational longevity of each aircraft were the primary determining factors in the selection of approximately 50 specific aircraft. The precise individual aircraft and the specific commercial operators that will be involved in the program have not yet been officially determined. Now, looking at how this timeline actually stretches out, the very first engine replacement work is expected to begin toward the end of 2029. This long wait is what makes this strategy highly debated, especially when you start looking at the massive financial burden tied to this transition. The estimated cost of the proposed re-engineering effort is a staggering 115 billion rubles, which is roughly $1.5 billion. This massive figure equates to approximately 2.3 billion rubles for every single aircraft. Look, let's just step back and think about that number for a second, because spending 2 billion plus rubles to retrofit an old plane is just wild, right? Although that massive figure is approximately equivalent to the original purchase price of a brand new SSJ-100 back in the day, it is still significantly lower than the estimated manufacturing cost of a completely new, fully import-substituted SJ-100. Auditors previously estimated that a brand new domestic jet would cost approximately 5.5 billion rubles per aircraft. According to deep industry sources, the current estimate is predominantly based on the raw cost of the new engine sets and specific associated technical procedures. However, the final program cost may rise significantly after necessary structural modifications, complex certification work, installation, and rigorous testing have been fully considered. Back in 2024, the estimated cost of a single PD-8 engine was approximately 1.09 billion rubles. Therefore, the total cost of a pair of engines for a single aircraft would be approximately 2.18 billion rubles, and that is prior to any installation and airframe modification costs. Because of these mounting numbers, the actual funding model for the program is still being fiercely debated. The program is anticipated to be significantly financed by the government itself, with industry sources indicating that the Ministry of Industry and Trade of Russia has the potential to provide funding for approximately half of the project. Various complex funding mechanisms are currently being considered to cover the remaining expenses of the project. These include direct financial participation from aircraft owners and leasing companies, or additional federal budget support channeled through the Ministry of Transport. So far, the financing structure has not been publicly confirmed by either ministry. United Aircraft Corporation announced that it is currently engaged in ongoing discussions with government agencies and airlines to ascertain the most suitable project scope. They are trying to simultaneously balance the availability of resources, operator demand, and their actual domestic production capacity. While these talks go on, we are about to break down exactly how Russia plans to keep these planes flying in the short term and the massive fleet numbers currently at risk. Don't go anywhere, because the exact carrier breakdown coming up next shows who is vulnerable. This brings us right to an alternative path, because extending the existing SaM146 service life remains an immediate, parallel priority. The Russian industry is concurrently pursuing this alternative strategy to keep planes in the air while the PD-8 replacement program slowly makes progress. According to the United Engine Corporation, the extreme cost of re-engining is primarily determined by the engine package itself and is expected to decrease as PD-8 production gradually increases over time. However, the short-term cost of maintaining and repairing the current SaM146 fleet remains significantly lower. Additionally, Rostec underscored that ongoing efforts are being made to prolong the lifespan of existing engines, thereby enabling operators to continue operating their aircraft until an economic or technical replacement is fully justified. Many industry observers now view service life extension and re-engining as complementary strategies rather than competing approaches. This massive modification in long-term strategy was directly necessitated by crushing international sanctions. Here on Altitude Addicts, we have closely tracked how the critical issue of substituting SaM146 engines first surfaced back in 2022. That was when the French engine manufacturer Safran suspended its involvement in the joint venture responsible for the manufacturing and support of the engine's vital hot section. Earlier assessments have raised serious concerns regarding the economic feasibility of re-engining existing aircraft, as the conversion process necessitates a significant investment in comparison to simple engine replacement. Additionally, heavy modifications to engine nacelles, pylons, wing structures, electrical systems, and auxiliary power unit integration would be completely necessary for each aircraft. United Aircraft Corporation is increasingly confident that the conversion is technically feasible, although cost remains a massive factor, especially as the PD-8 has been certified and production is gradually increasing. To see the true scale of this challenge, we have to look at the current active SSJ-100 fleet. Approximately 160 SSJ-100 aircraft are still in active commercial service across Russia today. Rossiya Airlines maintains the most extensive fleet by far, which comprises 78 aircraft. Red Wings maintains 25 aircraft, including several aircraft that are actively managed for third-party owners. Yamal operates 14 aircraft, Azimuth Airlines operates 19, and Aero currently operates 7. Yakutia Airlines continues to operate 3 aircraft. This specific aircraft type is also heavily used by many Russian government organizations. Meanwhile, corporate operators such as Gazpromavia, Severstal, Rustjet, and Global Sky continue to operate smaller fleets. According to United Aircraft Corporation, the SSJ-100 fleet accumulated approximately 2 million flight hours by November of 2025. Coming up, we are diving into the harsh economic realities and the production bottleneck that could stall this entire plan. Stay with us, because the true engine production numbers are not what they seem. This reality keeps the intense economic debate burning across the industry. The proposal prompted a variety of opinions within the industry as to whether it is truly more beneficial to upgrade older aircraft than to acquire brand new SJ-100s. Supporters argue that the cost of extending the useful life of an existing aircraft by approximately 2.3 billion rubles is significantly less expensive than the heavy subsidization of new aircraft. They point out that a new aircraft manufacturing cost may easily exceed 5 billion rubles. In light of the current tight budget constraints, re-engining has the potential to reduce immediate capital expenditure and provide lines with an additional window of operation. Others strongly contend that the long-term return on investment will be heavily reduced by the much shorter remaining lifespan of older SSJ-100 aircraft compared to newly constructed SJ-100s. Industry predictions indicate that, despite the implementation of service life extensions, only approximately 30 of the most recent SSJ-100 aircraft manufactured between 2020 and 2022 may have a significant remaining lifespan by 2030. If maintenance operations are further impacted by severe shortages of specialized components like air intakes, windshields, and other unique parts, fleet attrition could accelerate rapidly. Okay, let's look at the actual math here, because if they only have 30 good planes left by 3030, this whole thing feels like a race they are losing. This brings us straight into the highly critical production outlook for the new PD-8 engine. A major downward revision in Russia's official SJ-100 production plans has increased heavy concerns regarding the production capacity of United Engine Corporation to produce an adequate number of engines. They must somehow supply both new SJ-100 production and the proposed SSJ-100 re-engining line. Deliveries of 142 SJ-100 aircraft and over 300 PD-8 engines were expected before 2030, according to previous optimistic projections. However, the demand for approximately 60 SJ-100 aircraft is expected to increase by the end of the decade, according to more recent estimates from Russia's aviation authorities. At present, United Engine Corporation intends to manufacture approximately 30 PD-8 engines annually. Additionally, industry sources have pointed out that the new SJ-100 has not yet been the subject of any formal production contracts. Airlines have currently expressed a desire for approximately 40 to 50 total aircraft. This leaves a difficult task of balancing immediate modernization with future production lines. Some expert aviation analysts openly question whether investing heavily in aging SSJ-100 aircraft is truly the best long-term strategy for the country. They contend that the SJ-100 fleet expansion would offer a newer, standardized aircraft with a much longer service life. In contrast, the large-scale re-engining of older jets could delay fleet renewal and generate excess capacity in the domestic regional jet market during the 2030s. Some maintain that the two approaches can coexist smoothly. While SJ-100 production gradually increases, airlines could preserve vital regional connectivity by selectively replacing engines and extending the lifespan of existing aircraft. In addition, this strategy would offer leasing companies and aircraft proprietors the chance to maintain the value of their assets until replacement aircraft become more prevalent. At present, United Aircraft Corporation's proposal is still in the process of being developed. However, as we see on Altitude ATIX, it clearly indicates that Russia is fully committed to maintaining a major portion of its current SSJ-100 fleet. They are determined to keep flying while simultaneously transitioning to a regional aircraft industry that is entirely powered by domestic sources. We thank the people who have liked and shared the videos and subscribed to the channel. We also thank the people who have hyped the videos,